Welcome back to Beaver Creek. My name is Nico, and today we've got maintenance to do on our HM122 sawmill. So let's get it done. Alright everybody, here we are at the sawmill. We're gonna get the cover taken off. We have a few things to do today. To do an oil change, clean out our air filter, grease and silicone spray everything that needs silicone sprayed and greased, adjust our post guides, our blade guides, our throttle cable, and add a toolbox. So let's get to it. Alright, first things first is to drain the oil. 13 millimeter. While the oil drains out, we'll check our air filter. That's pretty dusty, so let's go blow it out. I know it's going to be hard to see, but these are our wear pads. There's a little bit of gap in here. This is the post that your sawmill rides up and down on. So we just have to loosen these up a little bit. Then we push these in a little bit. Now they're touching. We can tighten them back up. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Another thing we're going to keep an eye out for is to make sure that our little debris wires are actually contacting the wheel. So that one isn't. Loosen it up. Pinch those guys in. And tighten it back down. That's just a 10 millimeter here. Alright, we're pretty well drained out. Manual says to always replace the little crush washer that's on here. This one looks really good. I'm gonna reuse it. Tight. And manual says for the 9.5 horsepower motor, it's 1.16 quarts of SA30. That's what we have right here. And I find it hard to get a little funnel in there, so I just use a little transfer pump here. Stick her in there. And we pump. Oil inside of here, you're not going to be able to see, but it's about halfway up the threads. And there we are. Oil change is done. Now I'm just taking a brush, cleaning all the sawdust off of our posts here. And we take WD-40 silicone quick dry spray. This is what Woodland Mills recommends to use. And we'll lube it up. Now we can run the mill up to the top and back down. And the other spot that I like to lubricate is your blade tensioning handle. Bring that back. I like to use Seal Glide. It's a multi-purpose all-weather lubrication. And that's pretty lubricated already. Just put a little bit right in there, make sure we're clean, and spin it back on. All right, next on the list is the adjustment of the blade guide blocks. So use our brush to clean this up. Alright, I've got a number 4 Allen head here. I'm gonna do the bottom one first. Loosen this guy up. And the one on the side. And I'm gonna knock it all the way out of there. All right, with both of these off, the back loose, everything cleaned up, this is supposed to sit within 40 thousandths of the blade. So we adjust here and bring her forward. What I like to do is, this is 35 thousandths. I don't have 40 thousandths finger and I can't be bothered to stack them, so we're gonna do 35 thousandths and give her a little bit of room. Now we can take one of our guide blocks here and just slide her in parallel. Now we know that this is parallel with the blade, and we can tighten it back down and then do our adjustments. There we go. And this guy come back out and double check. Yep, 40 thousandths there. Top guide block can go back in. Gonna get our feeler gauge set to 20 thousandths. Slide her in there. And just give it a little tap. But you want to be able to move this, and you don't want to push the blade down. Alright, now when I put it in there, I can see that my blade goes down. So loosen it a little bit, tighten it again. That's pretty good. So tighten her down. And check again. Not too bad. And we'll do the bottom just the same as the top. Now these are double-sided, so this has a little bit of wear on it. This is still really good, but I'm going to use the good side. Slide it up in there. Feeler gauge. Snug it. Click. Torque to spec. There's 20 thousandths. And 20 thousandths. So I'll do the other side and get back to you. Alright, with our blade guides adjusted and ready to go, the last thing to check is going to be our belts. Want a little bit of a gap right here. Mine are getting close to worn out, but that's still good. I'll show you the other side. My drive belt is a little bit worse. You can see I have some, I don't know what you call this, tearing or splaying of the belt here. This is from over tightening. So I did this when I was learning how to use the mill and over tightened it. But when you look up in here, we still have a little bit of a gap in there. So we're gonna leave it for now, get as much use as we can. We're not having any issues. So we'll run that till it's dead. We have extras on hand when it breaks. That's what I do for maintenance on the mill. I think now we'll get the toolbox installed. I think I'm gonna put that just right underneath down here. That is protected underneath the mill. The mill has a case on it, or the mill head has a cover on it. And we'll get that screwed in there, and then I think we'll mill up the rest of this oak log. Let's get to it. This is just a cheapo toolbox from Walmart. I think it was like $5. So what I got in here, some sockets, feeler gauge, the oil pump, a wood crayon, an adjustable wrench, a brush, ratchet, silicone spray, grease, and Allen wrenches in metric. And there we are, all set. That's all the maintenance I do on the HM122, other than checking for level along our bunks. I'm not going to do that yet. We're still pretty frozen. I think we have a couple more weeks until the last frost. So right now, let's get to cutting the rest of this log up, see what we can find inside. Just got the tow board from Woodland Mills, so let's see if we can get this guy in here. I'll tell you what, that is a lot nicer than a floor jack. Alright, there's what we got out of that oak. Absolutely horrible log and a bunch of rot in there, but My buddy says he wants to try and do epoxy with it, clean it up, see what it'll look like. So that's what he gets. 4 horrible slabs. But mill is cutting good, nice and tuned up. Next thing we're gonna do is level our bunks once the frost goes away. But for now, that's what we got. All I got for you today. Thanks for watching, thanks for coming along, and we'll see you on the next one.